Religion. I was brought up with zero religion. Zero. I wasn't told anything. I was sent to Sunday school at a Anglican. No, actually it was Methodist, sorry. I was sent to a Methodist Sunday school, so I was sent to Sunday school. I just found that as a child that something wasn't right, and I didn't feel like I was being told everything correctly. I didn't like it. I always got in trouble. I realised if I said something naughty like poo, bum, I'd be kicked out and I could go and play in the playground. So I did that a lot. I got kicked out on purpose because I just felt like they were telling me the wrong stuff. It was all about giving money in the end. They sent envelopes home for money. Now, my father said, I'm not giving them any money. And they got plenty of money. And they even sent my father a bill and threatened legal action, right, over donations. This is not Sunday school, this is donations. Sunday school's part of the indoctrination. So my grandfather used to have this really old truck. It was a 1928 Chevrolet tip truck. It was the first tip truck in South Australia. It still exists. A company bought it that have nurseries and they renovated it. It still exists to this day and it's taken to flower shows. And he used to come up and pick me up in it and say, son, they only send you there so they can get the housework done. Right? I'm not saying they weren't spiritual people. They could just see through the mainstream crap. Right? So I had a blank canvas. So during my life, I've known many religions and many people from religions, and I've looked at many religions. And I can see that most of them aren't from God. They're just about manipulation and control. And I've known people in the Jehovah's Witnesses, which is a total cult. I've known people in the Catholics. I even worked at a monastery as a cook. And I know plenty of stories about them, and if you knew it about the Church of England, you'd burn the whole place to the ground and jail the whole lot of them. Right, that's all I can say about them. I will tell you about them. Right? It's another story. And so I made my own mind up. Right? I've never been a church person. I always felt like there was a God, but the written word was manipulated. Right? So I spent some time looking at this because all these people kept telling me, oh, the King James Bible is the perfect Bible. Haha. But look at the history. He had his scribes rewrite that Bible and in his own fashion. Right? One scribe said no, wanted to stick to the truth. He didn't want to change things. He was hung in a square. The king hung him because the king changed it, right? So things have changed over time. There's still an underlying message in there. 100% for certain there's wisdom in there. So I spent many, many years of my life doing a lot of research. And I can find a lot of these stories of echoes of stories from Samaria. So a lot of these are Gnostic narratives that go back and back. But really, the only thing we really need to know from the Bible is peace. It's a book of war. I'm sorry to say. It's the most bloodthirsty book of war you'd ever read. That's what it is, book of war. But it has a message of peace. To me, it's telling you if you go down this path, you'll never have peace. You just can't have peace. So, you know, regardless of all the doctrine, all the stuff you look at, it's just a message of peace. It's nothing more. It's a message of peace. And there are very profound things in there for us to learn from. But the problem is, all these books are taken by man and they're manipulated. Right? Now, people know that the first time they changed it was in 200 AD. They rewrote a lot of it. That's what happened. The early popes had it tinkered with. Yeah, they changed it. Right? If you want to read the real narratives, you have to go back to the Gnostic scriptures. And if you want to read where all that comes from, you have to go back to the Sumerian writings. You have to go all the way back there. Because if you read the chronicles in the Bible, and then you read the Sumerian chronicles, you realise you're reading exactly the same story. Exactly same story. No different. But the difference is that the Sumerians are more descriptive in the actual lineage history of the kings. Now, they found two ancient stones, steles they call them, and they had ancient Sumerian, another king's list they called them, right? And these king lists go back to about 300,000 years. Now, that is the time, roughly, that the scientists say that the human DNA was altered and changed. It happened about then. So, the original kings lived for 35,000 years. But as they spent more time in this world and the environment, their lifespan shortened. And they shortened to about 800 years in the end. You see, Noah lived for 800 years. Noah was definitely a real character in history, and he lived for 800 years. So they shortened our lifespan. The visitors did. They didn't want us living 800 years. We got the potential to live for 800 years, but they shortened us down to 120 years because they were scared of us. These visitors that come here, Theano, put themselves as gods, God creators. But they weren't gods. They weren't gods at all. They were flesh and blood with technology. And they were scared of us realising that. They really didn't want us to know that, because then we would realise we were equal to them. They were portraying themselves as being the great God. They weren't the great God. The great God doesn't need to come down like that. No. The great God is an eternal. Doesn't need that. People say to me, but you don't pray. I don't pray for a reason, because I know my God hears me. He hears me 24/7. He's in me 24/7. I just talk to my God. I don't pray. I don't ask for things. I ask for nothing. Alright? But I know my God is there with me. But I don't need a book. Sorry, I'm different than most people. I don't need any book. I feel. I have feelings. Everyone's relationship with the eternal creator is personal. It's all personal. Everyone has a different experience. When you die, you will all have a different experience of what the afterlife is like. A lot of that will be designed on your earthly beliefs. I had an uncle who died 8 times, right? And I said to him, Uncle Jeff, what's it like to die? He said, terrible. It was just darkness. All I saw was darkness. I said, yeah, but you don't believe in anything. You have no belief. He has no belief systems. He just thought you die and it's black. That was his experience, exactly what he thought. So there's a lesson to us. What we believe will be our experience. That's done on purpose, because we're all individuals. We all want different things. We have different aspirations, different thoughts, different things we want. But believe me, we do not die. The human soul is eternal. It lives forever. I was told I've lived over 100 times. I've had over 100 lives. Over. Could be 1,000, I don't know. But all I was told is I've had over 100 lives. So we choose this life. It might be hard, it might be horrible, but we've chosen it. Because there's something to learn. The purpose of the human soul is to be a reflection of the Creator. Because how can the Creator see itself without a reflection to see itself? I don't know if that makes sense. So we are created as a reflection. We're still part of the divine God, the divine universe. We're fully part of that. So we're an expression. So I am Daryl, having a small example of that expression in a small period. I'll go back, I'll die, I'll go back, I'll have a life review, but I won't be judged. I won't be thrown to hell. Hell does not exist. Hell is a construct of man. And I will look at my life and I'll have a life review. and I will realise what I could do to make my life better. My soul. Purify my soul. So then I can stay in that room for a long time, but on earth it's very short because time doesn't exist in that room. And then I will choose to come back in a way that I can further advance the purification of my soul. Anyway, that is my belief system. Everyone has a different belief system, and I don't really care what anyone believes in. We all have a right to believe in what we want. We all have a right to say what we want. Okay? And I'm not judging anyone. As long as they're not hurtful, violent, or have hatred, you can believe in what you like. It's your life, it's your world, it's your business.